right. Well, good afternoon. Mark Pyers, home-based business tax coach and wealth coach. Coming at you guys from my tax-deductible mobile gold producing ATM machine, aka the Kia. Just wanted to jump on here and have a brief conversation with you guys. So it is 5:11. And yep, I'm racking up some tax-deductible miles. Unfortunately, this year is only 55 cents a mile, but hey, I'll take it. Who wouldn't want to get paid to drive their vehicle? So guys, I want to talk to you briefly about the hidden secret that most entrepreneurs, many entrepreneurs, in fact, I think over the course of my last 20 plus years of knowing about this industry of home-based business, network marketing, direct sales, self-employment, get-rich opportunity, whatever people call it, I have never met an entrepreneur yet. And I've talked to thousands of them. I've never met an entrepreneur yet that knew what you're about to learn. I haven't met one yet. I'm not saying that they don't exist. All I'm saying is, out of thousands of entrepreneurs, I haven't met one yet. It's almost like I haven't met one employee yet out of 24 years that was a homeowner that knew that they should be claiming their mortgage interest and property taxes that they paid during the course of the year on their W-4 form. I've never met a homeowner yet in 24 years. And all that says to me is that there is a lack of education out there, wealth education out there, that is financially killing people. I mean, it is literally financially killing people. You know, quick story, I was conducting a 101 tax session with a business partner of mine. Actually, I was preparing, as one of my clients, I was preparing his taxes, and I decided to let him see me work, because I believe that if I verbally try to explain this information, most people won't get it. I've learned that over the last 20 plus years. It'll go right over their head, and most people will not ask the right questions. They will pretend like they understand what you're saying, and that is the most deadliest thing you could ever do. You guys ever heard that saying, there's no stupid question except the one you don't ask? Yeah. So I titled this live stream, The Hidden Financial Cancer That Most Entrepreneurs Never Discover About Making Money. And I'm talking about making money in the industry of, again, network marketing, home-based business, direct sales, self-employment, brick-and-mortar business, anyone that does not earn money from a 9-to-5 job or under a W-2 structure. And that's where your boss basically take taxes out of your check and give you what's left after he's done. Okay, so I'm talking to, you know, if you got a lemonade stand in front of the house, you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed. This is for you. If you're making money or you're working a home-based business within the industry of direct sales, network marketing, whether it be Avon, Mary Kay, doesn't matter. This is for you. The hidden financial cancer that most entrepreneurs never discover about making money. Number one, there's two money systems in this, and I want to speak specifically about the United States of America. I can't tell you what other countries' systems are like, but I'll talk about the United States of America. There's two money systems in this country. Those two money system ties to one tax system. One tax system that governs both money systems. Okay, so just stick with me. So there's two money systems, and they're all governed by one tax system that has two money systems inside of the one tax system. For some of you that was probably already confused, like, what the heck did he just say? There's two money systems in this country. There's two ways to make money. Actually, there's a few other ways, but we're going to talk about the initial capital that most people make. One is you go and work on a job, you trade your time for money. That's called a linear income. You trade your time for money. You put in 8 hours a day. Your boss gives you 8 hours of pay minus the taxes. And then the other source of income is self-employment or entrepreneurship. Okay? Self-employment or entrepreneurship. This is the real estate agent that receives commissions. This is the individual that's selling products for themselves or maybe for a network marketing enterprise such as Mary Kay, Avon, and, coffee, whatever the case may be. You earn your money through sales from products or services. Okay, that's the second stream of income, second avenue of income. Okay. The hidden cancer lies between the rules of these two sources of income that are very bow-legged. And so, going back to my client last night, just briefly on that information, this gentleman owns his home. He paid mortgage interest last year like every other homeowner does. In fact, I'm gonna phrase that homeowner. Let me turn this air off because it's cold. Let me phrase that homeowner. If you're paying mortgage interest, you are not a homeowner. We gotta stop claiming things that we don't own. If you pay mortgage interest, you are not the owner of that home, because if you do not pay the bank that payment this month, and you don't pay the bank the payment the following month, by the third month, they already have you headed toward the court system to evict you. So we got to stop calling ourselves homeowners. But in this illustration, we'll keep that terminology. So this gentleman paid $5,000 in mortgage interest during the course of the year. He operates on the employee side of the income platform. Now, he also has a home-based business, which we're going to get into that in a minute. So he's actually operating on both platforms. But I want to stick with this mortgage side, because we're going to talk about how bow-legged these two systems are and why one is a financial cancer. But more importantly, if you don't have the right information, you can carry that cancer over to the other system that was supposed to set you financially free. And so I plugged this gentleman's information in. I plugged in his income, and he's a father, has children, so he's filing head of household. And I went to plug in his $5,000 that we have been taught that if you follow the American dream, to go to school, get a good education, buy the house with the white picket fence, you'll be able to write off your mortgage interest. That's not necessarily the truth. It's not necessarily the truth. There are some got yous in there. And so in his case, when I plugged in the $5,000, he got zero tax deduction for his mortgage interest. Now, I wasn't shocked, but I wanted him to see this information. I wanted him to see that the myth that someone buying a home and paying mortgage interest, that you are entitled to getting a tax deduction for the mortgage interest that you took out of your pocket from your hard-earned income, from the labor in which you traded on your job, and you purchased that house with the belief that you could write off a portion of your interest that you gave to the bank that didn't pay down any of your debt, and then you take it to your tax preparer and he plug it in and you get zero. Now, I'm not going to get into why he got zero. The bottom line of that is, it's part of the financial cancer on the employee side, okay? We can get into the details later, okay? But the government has set, I'm not even going to say the government, the elite wealthy who set up these two money systems that all feed into this one tax system, that now within the one tax system has two money systems, one that penalizes you for being successful and one that incentivizes you for being successful, but only if you know the rules. I got to say that one more time. This system that was created by the elite wealthy, we're talking about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the J.P. Morgans, the people that control the flow of the money throughout the system, who created these two systems. One that someone could work for them, that they can leverage those people's time by giving them a job, and then one that could be like themselves, be entrepreneurs and figure out how to leverage other people's time so they can have freedom. That created these two money systems that feed into one tax system, that within the one tax system has two separate money systems, one that penalizes you for following the rules to be financially successful. That's the rules: to go to school, get a good education, to get a high-paying job. And one that incentivizes and rewards you for being successful, and that's the entrepreneur side, if you know the rules. And so out of 24 years, I've yet to meet an entrepreneur in the industry of network marketing and direct sales that understood that just because you earn money in a business doesn't mean you get to keep it if you don't know the rules. And so this individual paid $5,000 in mortgage interest and got zero tax deductions until I informed him that even though he may not have known, by operating on the other money system, the self-employment system, the entrepreneur system that was designed by the elite wealthy for themselves and never taught to the masses, that just because he just tripped up and discovered that side of the other money system within this one tax system, he can take a portion of that mortgage interest that he got zero advantages for on the employee side, and on the business side, he gets the tax deduction for it. So the employee side was penalizing him for following the rules, and the entrepreneur side was incentivizing and rewarding him just because he discovered it. The hidden cancer for the entrepreneur is this. You might want to write this one down, because this one will keep you up tonight. The highest taxed category. The highest taxed category is an uninformed entrepreneur. Let me say that again, because I know despite what you've been told, despite what you believe, that home-based business owners pay less taxes than employees, That's not necessarily the truth if you are uninformed. See, the elite wealthy created this for themselves, and they didn't create this for an employee mindset to benefit and be prosperous on the entrepreneur side of this money system. And so it's not good enough to just come over into the entrepreneur side of the money system that was created for the elite wealthy to remove themselves from the penalization of all of the taxation that they place on the masses, and did not give them financial education about any part of the system. That way they would let them wander around in the wilderness and chase their tail trying to get rich, and every time that they made an extra $100, they'd pay more taxes and they'd lose 60% of it. And so the entrepreneur that comes along and say, hey, I found an opportunity how I can make money by myself, for myself. And you feel like you're on a treadmill. Some of you are going to relate to this. If you've been in the industry of network marketing and direct sales, and you've been chasing your dreams and chasing your financial freedom, and you feel like you've been on a treadmill for years, and you're like, man, I can't get ahead. I don't get this. It's because you've never been taught about the hidden cancer, the hidden financial cancer, the booby traps, I call them. I call them the lion, tigers, and bears. I call them the slave trap. When the slave found out that they could be free, if they only ran, and they ran in a direction towards freedom, and they got there, that they could be free. But what the slaves didn't remember, what the slaves didn't think about, oh, this is going to be powerful. What the slaves didn't think about is even when they left the plantation that they had been captured and placed on, that the only thing they knew was how to pick cotton. And so even if they ran and found freedom, they wouldn't know what to do with it. And some of those slaves turned around and went back. See, some people turn around and go back to a job. Oh, this don't work. This home-based business stuff don't work. This network marketing stuff don't work. This get-rich-quick stuff don't work. And so they retreat back to a job. That's why most people never burn their boat. But it's not that the entrepreneur opportunity don't work, because all you're doing is trading your time for money the same way you trade your time for money on a job. See, the difference is that it's easy to go out and just trade your labor and build someone else's dream and build someone else's dynasty and complain about what you don't have than it is for you to invest in yourself. And I'm talking about your knowledge, to invest in, be willing to invest in your knowledge about what you don't know. So you can't drive a car unless somebody give you some rules and lessons on how you drive a car. You just can't get in and just drive. You're going to crash. That's the way it is in life. So as an entrepreneur, what I've discovered over the last 20 plus years is that thousands of people are operating on a platform totally blind, with no financial education, and all they're doing, some of them have been very successful. Show me a millionaire that's made $1 million in network marketing, and I'll show you a person, okay, that's a $500,000. Because here's the numbers. As an entrepreneur, don't worry about it, it's gonna get better. I don't want you saying, oh, I'm going back to I quit. It's gonna get better, just hold on there, hold on. You see, here's the numbers, and they were set up this way to scare away the uninformed. As an entrepreneur, you make $30,000 in network marketing, home-based business, as a real estate agent, self-employment, I'll call it. You're going to lose 25% in federal taxes out of every dollar you earn. So let's stick with $1 bill right now. $1 bill, 25 cents. You're going to lose 15 cents in Social Security. Doesn't matter how much money you make. If you live in a state where you pay state taxes, you're going to lose 10%. So we got 25%, we got 15%. So that's 40, so 25 and 15, we got 40% right there. You're going to lose another 10% in state. That's 50% of your dollar bill. You're going to lose another 3.4% in Medicare and unemployment. So 53 cents out of every dollar that you earn as an entrepreneur, and you are uninformed about the rules, you will lose 53 cents out of every dollar. $533 out of every $1,000. $330 out of every 10,000. Because you didn't get the memo. You didn't get the financial education. You didn't get that the elite wealthy knew that one day the masses would discover that they had been bamboozled and that they could not work 40 years of their life and retire in their golden years, and that they would want to have their own independence. They knew it. And so just like in slavery, where they forbidden the slave to learn how to read, they forbidden the masses to learn anything about the money system. And they said, you know what? If they ever discovered that they could actually make money on their own and they don't have to be dependent on a job, we will penalize them. We will financially whip them the same way that they beat slaves to do as they wanted them to do. We will financially beat them through the system that no matter how much money they make, we will strip them of 50 to 60% of their wealth, and they'll quit and they'll retreat back to the plantation and pick cotton. Now I know that's kind of deep. I know that's kind of deep, but it is an enslavement system when you don't teach one group of people financial information that you're teaching another group of people. And so if you are being biased on what you're letting one group of people learn, then to me that's a form of enslavement. That's a form of control, because slavery is about control. Okay? So, you say, well, okay, Mark, well, heck, sounds like I ought not be an entrepreneur. I just ought to go get me a 9-to-5 job. Remember what I said. I said the hidden secret, the hidden financial secret that the average entrepreneur never discovers in this industry. So now we need to look at this a little bit deeper. So in 5 minutes, guys, I'm going to be done. So Mark, if what you said is true, then why is it that Warren Buffett pays less taxes percentage-wise than his secretary or any other employee in his office? How is it that Mark Zuckerberg made $1.2 billion in profit and paid zero federal taxes, zero state taxes, and the government wrote him a check for $412 million? How is it that GE, General Electric, made billions of dollars, paid no taxes? How is it that ExxonMobil, the richest corporation in the world, made hundreds of billions of dollars and paid no taxes, if what you said is true? Because they're informed. See, the wealthy put booby traps there in the form of tremendous tax penalties for being uninformed. And they figured that you'd one day decide, you know what, I'm paying way too much taxes on this income. Because they didn't want you to know that they gave themselves away off the plantation. See, there's always two ways to skin the cat. And so as they created that trap, they also created themselves a way off of the trap. How is that? Well, let's go back to my tax client who couldn't get a tax deduction on the mortgage interest that he paid on the employee side of his taxes. But the minute that he claimed his home office, bam, 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 he got credit for his interest that he gave to the bank. Why is it that the employee can't get any tax deduction for the interest that he paid, but that same employee that has moved himself from the uninformed side to the informed side now is getting a tax deduction for that $5,000? Why is it that one employee puts gas in their vehicle and drive to work to build their boss's legacy, dynasty, but they have to pay taxes on the money that they pay to put the gas inside the tank, and they get zero tax benefits for going to their job to earn money? Yet the entrepreneur, the real estate agent, he takes the same amount of money to put gas in his vehicle, and he gets to deduct that 53%. Why is it that one person goes to earn money in one category of the money system and they do it tax-free, and another person goes to earn money in the employee system and they have a minimum, if any, tax deductions, and the biggest one they can get is giving their money to the bank in the form of mortgage interest? It's called that hidden financial cancer that eats away at your money. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how successful you are. I ran into a gentleman today, and I'm gonna bring this to an end. I hadn't seen this guy in about 10 years. And he said, hey, he said, don't I know you? And I said, you look familiar. And so we kind of figured out where we knew each other from. And about 10 years ago, we had the opportunity to work with each other for a short period of time. And the first thing he asked me was, are you still selling gold? The first thing came out of his mouth. Are you still selling gold? And I chuckled at him. I said, man, I don't sell gold. And I asked him, what, how long are you going to be out here? And he says, I'm working for such and such. He had a position open. And I said, I thought you lived in like Oklahoma or somewhere. He says, I do, but I got to go where the job is. I said, you still live in Oklahoma? And he says, yeah. He says, but I heard that such and such was looking for a planner. And so I called him up, and right now I'm staying in a hotel, but I'm going to see how it works out. And if it works out, then I'm gonna probably try to see if I can buy me a house down here. He said, but not right now because I can't afford it. I said, wait a minute, man. We were working together 10 years ago. I said, you still chasing jobs? I did say that sarcastically, because he did say to me, you still selling gold? So here this man has a family in Oklahoma, got his tail in California, sleeping in a hotel room, probably got bed bugs in it, chasing the money, chasing the paper. It don't matter how much money that man makes. He will forever be filled with the financial cancer of having such a large percent of his money taken. By the time he takes what's left and get taxed on that, he'll chase jobs for the rest of his life. Well, that's what I see in the industry of home-based business. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm so focused on, I don't care how much money I can make in this industry. I know the hidden cancer that if I chase $1 million in this industry without this financial education, I'm just $500,000. In fact, I'm going to work harder than the employee picking cotton, building someone else's dream. So what's the message of today? Being an entrepreneur with an employee mindset won't get you where you want to go. I don't care who tell you that. I don't care how hard you work. You can call as many people you want. You can recruit the damn world. It don't matter. If you don't get financially informed, if you don't believe that focusing on keeping more of the money you make as an entrepreneur. And when you're making so much money, you can't accumulate enough tax deductions, which means that you are not penalized for the money you made. Then you better move that money into an asset. You better move that money into real estate. And I don't mean your own home. I was reading on the IRS website today. In fact, it was an email the IRS sent me, and it was talking about capital gains. And if you purchase real estate property and you had a loss, you can write it off on your taxes. But if you purchase a house for yourself and it lost value, you can't write off diddly squat. Get off the plantation. Get yourself financially educated. Invest in your knowledge. Knowledge is power, but only if you apply it. But it's impossible for you to apply the knowledge, the right knowledge, if no one's willing to provide it. And so you got to understand that although we have discovered a better way to make money, a better way to control our time, you better understand that the elite wealthy didn't make it that easy for you to come over here and get rich, or everybody be over here getting rich. They already knew that there was going to be some people that was going to want to be self-employed. And that's why they created the fact that if you want to be self-employed, good. Then you're going to take on all the self-employment taxes with your intelligent self. You're going to take on all the Medicare with your intelligent self. You're going to take on all of the state, all of the federal. You're going to be so financially abused, you're going to hurry up and get back to that job. And here's the sad part about it. It's a hidden secret because the average person has never ever seen their taxes prepared before, ever. And so what is happening to you, you have no idea that is happening. You just feel the pain, but you have no idea how the pain and where the pain is coming from. That's why it's a hidden cancer, because you don't know what you don't know. And if what you don't know is financially killing you, you can stick a fork in you. You're done. So the message today, guys, is there's a financial hidden cancer in the money system of the employee and the entrepreneur. But only one category has been given a way out, and that's the entrepreneur. Now it's up to you to get informed. I say it and I'll say it again. I'll say it from the highest mountaintop. If you want to work hard for money, stay financially uninformed. I don't care what money system you work in. But if you want to make money easily, I'm not saying you're going to build your business. I'm talking about make money easily. Doesn't it make sense to keep your 53% that's being taken from you? Don't you understand? If you could keep your 53%, you could work half as hard. You only need to put in half the amount of work. So the person is trying I'm just going to go chase people. I need to recruit. You need to recruit 1,000 people to every 200 people that I bring into my business, because they're going to take 53% of your money. And at the end of the day, when you look down, you're going to feel like, man, I did all that work for this? Because you didn't know that there was a hidden cancer. And you take that stuff and you dump it over there to your tax man, and he plug in your numbers, and he take your check and he hand it back and say, hey, you need to write a check. The most devastating look I've ever seen on someone's face is when they made over $80,000 in network marketing and they were uninformed. I've never seen a look on a man's face when he saw how much of his money that he had to hand over to the government for being uninformed. He was a great recruiter, but he was an financially illiterate entrepreneur, and it cost him more than 50% of what he worked for all year long. Don't be that person. We're all ignorant to something, but it's very painful to be ignorant financially. It's easy and it's simple. Once someone teaches you the information, it's just like the first time you wrote your name, it was the hardest thing to do. It was like the first time you had to learn the ABCs. You could say them backwards because you couldn't figure out how to remember to say them forward. You got to get informed. I don't care how much money you make. You will never have financial success, and this is just my opinion, because without being financially informed, you are an entrepreneur that is working your business like an employee, but you're getting penalized even worse because you're holding the entire bag. So guys, with that being said, I hope you got value from that. I didn't mean to go that long. I started at 5:08 at 5:46. So hope you guys got some value with that. The message today is get financially informed. Get financially informed about how you're taxed. More importantly, how you can prevent yourself from being taxed. Because the elite wealthy set this thing up so good that all you have to do is live a lifestyle that most people work and try to save for to keep your money in your pocket. Now, that's going to hit you about 2 o'clock in the morning, and you'll be like, wait a minute, let me go back and listen to what he said. We'll see you guys on the next live stream.